Okay, guys, welcome to another vintage Dredge League. We are going to play with the Munchlax list that they used to win one of the challenges over the last weekend, over the, what would it have been, last Thursday. I think they won 24th, 25th, something like that. Go away, please. And the main thing that they've got in their list is 2 more negations and a Mind Break Trap. This makes us better against Duel and Doomsday, Oath of Druids, these sorts of difficult, potentially slightly faster combo decks, but a lot worse in the mirror and a bit worse against Lurrus from my experience. But yeah, so that's the main difference in the list. They've got 4 Ravenous Traps post board, which is fine. Some graveyard hate, 4 Vigors and 4 Sickening Shoals for Leylines and Priests and Jailers, and then we've got 2 Strip Mines, which is for the Tabernacles and other lands, but when we've only got 8 creatures which are going to sit in play, it's likely that the Tabernacle is going to be overall slightly less impactful on us. They'll still be impactful, but maybe we need to respect it less, and this allows us to make space for a Mind Break Trap, which just shores up that Doomsday Duel matchup a slight bit more post-board. So, and maybe Breach as well, because Breach is a big thing. We can bring the traps in against Breach, I guess. That's quite cool. But yeah, so that's the joke. This is what we're going to play through a league, and we'll see how we get on. Okay, round 1 we're up against Sergitor, who's revealed a Lurrus. We've got a Powder, and we've got a Mulligan to 6. So we've got Bazaar, we've got some permissions, we should be able to stay alive here. I'm going to pitch probably just one of the negations, I think. Maybe I can drop an Icarid, so I might be able to draw into a blue card and have double permission over 2 turns sort of thing. So opponent's on the play. And they've got a bauble, very nice. And so they bauble us to have a little look-see, see what we're drawing, see if it's good. They play a Strip Mine, which is fine. We don't know what genre of Lurrus they're on at the moment, and they know about that Noxious Revival. So let's activate here. Discard Imp, Icarid, Thug, and then we will go through their turn, and they'll probably main phase us with the Strip Mine. We'll get our little graveyard out here. Opponent having a little think, hits us with the Strip, main phase, plays a Flooded Strand. I'm thinking I might slow roll this Noxious for a moment. The opponent knows about it, the opponent's made this play. So I might just mess around with their mana a bit and go in their next upkeep. Dredge Stinkweed Imp. Because if they have a fetch, then I can Noxious Revival through a Flusterstorm sort of thing. So I'm going to Dredge a Stinkweed Imp. We hit a Creeping Chill, which is quite nice. Just a little bit of damage there. And if our opponent fetches end step, then we can Noxious and we can beat the Flusterstorm. If they don't, I am going to go in their upkeep, but so I'm going to go now for the Bazaar. We have got the negation to protect with, but if they've got fetch Fluster, then we are just on slow dredges. They've got a Force of Will. We will negate that. Cool. Hamper their Delve ever so slightly. And now our Noxious does resolve, so it looks like maybe we were just a bit too cute with ourselves, but that's kind of fine. They've got a Wasteland, but I'm going to get another Bazaar activation, so that should be enough to push through, because they don't have anything else going on that's particularly relevant. And at that point I would have had 2 nice big Bazaar activations, and I should be well set up to convert. So, Bizarre Baghdad, just going to dredge off thugs here. They're fetching. What do you think they're fetching for? Get an underground sea. Okay, so they're just going to play a Bowmasters. Get my Icarid now. Which is fine. And then we dredge. Cool. That was all fine. We'll dredge the thug. We didn't hit any relevant cards. Which is kind of saddening. There's literally nothing in there. We've still just got the Icarid. They're kind of forced to wasteland us here. And then they bink for 2. Oh, and it's just back to us. Nice. I'm going to eat a shell. That seems really easy. So they missed a land drop that turn. We can dredge a Stinkweed Imp, hit a Creeping Chill, and another Icarid. And a Grief, which is tasty. So they're at 9. They're at 9 and they've been missing mana. Sol Ring is more mana. Allows them to buy a Lurrus next turn. We're going to dredge a Stinkweed Imp after eating 2 cards for our Icarids. Oh no, it's not a Stinkweed Imp, it's a Golgari Thug, but that's fine. Thug comes back to hand. Misses on the world, and we're running out of gas slowly. Opponent falls to 6, which means they can't attack with Bowman next turn. So otherwise I can just eat everything if they're tapped out. They won't be tapped out, but I kind of can't be out there eating Icarids at this point, I don't think. I think I need to hope that this Thug gets me somewhere. Maybe I've been a bit too aggressive on eating Dredges and bringing back Icarids and stuff. I think I'm just going to say no a bunch. Because I'm a bit low on food. Play a Thug. Hit nothing but air. Well, I got Stinkweed Imp and Shambling Shells. I've got 2 more Dredges there. Opponent still can't attack. What have we been through so far? 3 chills. So we do need to connect once more with a creature. They buy Lurrus. Okay. I don't think I want to pick up Icarid this turn either. Play a Stinkweed Imp. Hit a Creeping Chill and a Narcomoeba. Opponent falls to 3. Narcomoeba comes in. Not a fucking amalgam in sight. 13 cards left. 3 amalgams. We hit a Grave Troll, so we can start eating stuff with Icarids again, I imagine. Definitely the Grief. They've got Lurrus, Lotus, Lurrus. Or Lotus, Lurrus, Lotus. You probably just get back with Bauble though, right? You need the cards, I guess. Or maybe it's just the fact that I'm not casting spells is part of their issue. I don't think eating 1 Icarid is particularly good. And I don't think leaning completely on Grave Troll is massively exciting. They are a white version, so they're going to have access to plows. We won't block the Bowmaster when it attacks here because they can just cast it again. So what do I have to eat with Icarid? Just other Icarids in a shell and a Grief. So I'm just going to say no again. 1 more Noble for us here, hopefully. Let's see what the Grave Troll can deliver. A Narcomoeba and 2 amalgams. So that should be an acceptable amount of stuff. I'll pass because they can just jump a frog with no real cost. They can't attack with Lurrus, so it's going to be hard for them to gain a life, otherwise my 2 Narcomoebas trade. I've still only got 3 black cards in my graveyard. But maybe that's fine, because maybe I can take just a regular run-in-the-mill draw step. Unless this is like a time twister, at which point we're kind of cold. Five mana. Is this just a hard cast Lurrus? No, it's a treasure cruise leaving the bow Black Lotus behind. 6 cards over there. So many cards. And this is one of the costs for registering this list in my mind, is we are slightly worse against the Lurrus decks. They cycle a bauble. And they play another frog. So let's say I put... How many plows are they holding? That's going to be the big question, isn't it? How many plows are they holding? I think I'm going to eat everything and take a regular draw step. So eat a grief. Eat a shell. Been through all my chills. Eat a shell. I do draw a blue source. The Force of Will. Everyone in, please. The whole squad. Got 1 white card at the very least. We'll probably be misstepping a plow here. They're cracking Lotus for white, which is horrible, right? 'Cause how many plows are they holding? How many plows is this? It sounds like... This looks like an opponent with 4 plows, right? They're eating a Narcomoeba. Okay, that's fine. That one I don't think I care about. They're ploughing a Narcomoeba. I continue to think I don't actually care about that. That's 2 of the plows. And now what? Going after the Narcs is weird, isn't it? So Bowmaster in, and then Frog there, Frog there. Lurrus here. So everything's going to trade off. They're going to discard some cards to Frogs to keep the Frogs alive. Dress Down gets discarded. Spell Pierce gets discarded. Lavinia gets discarded. So everyone's dead. They've got some Frogs. I'm going to discard a Thug. I'm going to draw a lot of cards here. They've drawn something that makes it... They either feel like they have to just draw these 2 cards, or they've drawn something that makes them think they can survive this turn. Time Walk. I don't like that as a proposition, so I'm going to Force of Will the Time Walk. And then we win. Nice. That was interesting, that one. Yeah, very good. Strange to me that they were going for the Narcomoebas. I guess they were scared about eating their graveyard sort of thing. So we're going to sideboard something like this, coming off of negations and traps and force of wills and stuff. One more card. Just a thug, I guess. But yeah, coming off of negations, traps, and force of wills, so that we can have a diverse range of hate or anti-hate in play. And then depending on what we see throughout this game, we might be able to season that to taste later on, sort of thing. Like we can bring back a few forces if we want to. We're going to take a mulligan here. But where a lot of our games devolve into something like that, where we are just slow dredging, keeping the grease in can be very good for Ichorid food. So it might not be the ideal strategy, but it's one of those things with the blue-black Lurrus deck. A lot of their cards don't matter, they've only got a key few. Opponents mulligan to 5, and they've gone Mox, Jet, Wasteland, pass. Okay. So I'm probably just going to take a draw step, and then play a Wasteland and waste them. So I'm going to play a Wasteland and waste them. They're going to float a mana. I'm going to pass. They're going to play a Bowmaster. And then we're going to grief their last good card. Probably just pitching the Ichorid here, to be honest with you. Grief pitches Ichorid. Because Shambling Shell's a double pitch card, right? So let's see what they've got left. They've got a Psychic Frog and a Strip Mine. So the Strip Mine's a bit annoying, but we might be okay if we can draw something good on our turn. So we know about Strip Mine, and then they've got one mystery card. But no actual graveyard hate so far. So usually it's Tormod's Crypt, I think, post board. So let's activate here. They'll get some triggers, but we should be good at going beyond those triggers. Noxious Revival's a cool draw. So let's go something like this. They get a couple of triggers from a Bowmaster. We'll go to their turn, and in their upkeep we will Noxious the Bazaar. Bazaar of Baghdad, please. We've got one Shambling Shell, and they've top decked another Wasteland, so that's cool. That's good. That's great. I'm just going to play Bazaar. We're going to Wasteland us straight away again. We're going to dredge some Shambling Shell and some Stinkweed Imp. We hit Creeping Chill, which is going to be super tasty for us. I'm going to keep the Sickening Shoal because we're going to knock out their token in a moment. And then we're going to move to slow dredging for the rest of the game. But we can pick up a Stinkweed Imp, kill their token, and leave an opponent with just a Bowmaster and not much going on. Another Wasteland. So they hit us for 4, we fall to 8. They've got one card in hand. We pick up a Stinkweed Imp. It doesn't hit anything. But now we can go upkeep, Sickening Shoal your Orc Army token for the exact amount. And now their clock is abysmal, and we should just be able to grind them out. So we're going to bring back an Ichorid this turn, which is going to bring back 2 Amalgams. They found a Tundra, which finds a Frog as well. Wow. That's annoying. Bowmaster hits us. Been some pretty sicko top decks over on the other side of the table, in my opinion at least. The 2 amalgams trigger though. The Thug comes back to hand. I'm looking for chills here really. Yeah, chill's really nice because chill just keeps us alive a bit longer. Icarid can't really do anything other than attack. This Icarid's got decent food though, and double amalgam's great. Opponent's got no cards in hand, so they can like buy Lurrus this turn if they want to. That'll give them future access to their other Psychic Frog and give them the chain where they start trading off Bowmasters and stuff. So they've held back a Bowmaster. Drawn another card with the Frog. Underground Sea is the land for the turn. And they'll probably buy Lurrus, leaving Tundra untapped to bluff the plow. Or actually just have the plow is the other option. But hopefully just bluff the plow. So Icarid's got all these griefs, so that's going to keep eating that. We're on to a Thug now, which hits nothing. Well, I say nothing. It hits a pretty tasty Stinkweed Imp and Grave Troll. I'm going to send all of the clowns for now. Orcish Bowmasters blocks. Opponent falls 2-5. Icarid goes away. No plow made itself known during that turn cycle. But Imp plus Troll was pretty good for like just the general longevity of our deck operating on a slightly slower basis than we initially planned, but that's fine. We're reaching a point now where they need to start thinking about holding this Frog back. I lied, sorry. Sorry. Well, I guess Lurrus plus land means they can play a Bowmaster, which gives them 3 blockers, right? So that's not really true. They've got 4. One of them's a Lurrus. One of them is not a Strip Mine. We've already seen the Strip Mine. They've discarded a Force of Will. Okay. Post-combat. Oh, so they're just cruising or something. Cruising or digging. Oh, they've top decked a Time Twister. That'd be the other reason to discard your whole hand. And they know my hand. They know I've got nothing. They just discarded a Force of Will. Cool. Upkeep. Containment Priest. Right. How many chills have we been through? Just 2. So we'll say no to Icarid. We'll dredge our Grave Troll. We'll hit a Chill and a Narcomoeba. So we'll chill them. They now need to chump block or die and have chump block and have removal, but no, they just died. So we win. That was fun. See for round 2. Okie dokie. Round 2, we're up against markdm. We've won a die roll. Pretty cool. And opponent has also revealed a Lurrus of the Dream Den. We've got double hollow on no Dredger, but double Bazaar as well. So we'll keep with what is quite a good opener. So Bazaar comes in, over it goes. Blue card Dredger is the nut high here, and that's what we hit. So gaming, truly gaming. Cast a hollow one. Cast a hollow one. Game over. Cool. So it's probably going to be similar. I say game over. Opponent can obviously have some cracked openers, blah, blah, blah. But it's probably going to be similar sideboarding strategy. One thing that's really interesting here is if our opponent doesn't believe they can beat this start, they should probably concede before they start showing us Tundras. What's a Lotus? I'm going to let the Lotus through. I will fight a Frog here. Time Walk. Yeah, that's fine. Frog I will force. Opponent might force back, and that's not a drama at all. So they get an extra turn, but they've gone down 3 cards from what was their opening hand, and we win. So we don't know about white cards, but we're still going to sideboard in a pretty similar way by dropping all of our blue cards until we have a better understanding of their sideboarding strategy. 61. It could be a Chalice on the draw, actually. I took out a Thug last time. Maybe a Chalice is better because we're so slow dredge heavy in these post-board games. So that could be a different way to approach. Okay, so following game, we will take a mulligan. And we'll get 5 of them. And we'll keep this and we'll bottom our 2 chills. That seems reasonable. Which is always nice to know where our chills are. They're the bottom 2 cards in our deck. Tundra. Into a bobble. Looks at mine. Sees a card, plays a spell bomb. Interesting. Very interesting. So, what do we have? They've got a bauble. We've got a Sickening Shoal. Let's activate Bazaar. Discard. I don't like any of this, but I'm going to discard Ichrid, Amalgam, Shambling Shell. And if they go Wasteland, crack it, then that's a real problem. But I think this is Wasteland, crack the bauble. Puts us in a shit show, but I think I still have to do something that makes me look like I'm going to play the game. They've just got a sea, they haven't got a Wasteland. We are going to... Do we go over the top of Ichrid? I'm going to pick up my Shambling Shell, actually. I'm going to eat my shell, pick up my Amalgam, take a draw step. Attack for 3. Misstep the plough. They misstep my misstep. Okay. And then we'll pass the turn. I say pass the turn. We're going to let the Amalgam trigger go on the stack. And if they eat with the bauble, with the spell bomb here, we will activate now. They don't. Do I still activate now? I think so. Because I don't want to run it into a Bowmaster. I like that a lot. I like this. Cool. Cool. So we've got a little threat in play. We've got some wastelands to punch them around with a bit. Now they're going to eat my graveyard, but I've already made a threat. So I feel okay about this exchange. I am down a Dredge and I don't have any to work with at the moment. But we haven't run an activation into a Bowmaster. Any spell off the top becomes a Sickening Shoal. And all they're doing is buying Lurrus, which means we can start wasting their Tundras. We do get a nice draw step here. Activate the Bazaar, sorry. Discard. Slay for 3. And then I imagine I want to strip mine Tundra. They can have a Tabernacle, I don't think that's going to matter too much. And cast a Hollow One. I could have played strip mine, cast Hollow One to play around Daze, but I don't want them picking up the Tundra. If they were to Daze the Hollow One, and they don't have a Tundra and they've got to pick up an Underground Sea, they're so far behind it's insane. they've got to cycle a Lurrus here, so they need a Mox to get Lurrus into play, which means they're once again very far behind the Spell Bomb. And they've got what looks to be a Bowmaster here. Or is just someone who just got Strip Mined and they can't cast their Lurrus. So we'll dredge a Shambling Shell. We'll miss on the world. So we'll attack first. To get in the damage. They're on 7. I'm going to play a Bazaar. I'm going to activate a Bazaar. They've got a Bowmaster. So I'm going to activate a Bazaar. And their Bowmaster's never going to trigger. Well, it'll trigger once. But then we're going to dredge 10. And we're 3 chills away from death, which is quite a lot. But we are also potentially going to make some amalgams. Doesn't look like it. We did find an Icarid. They're going to get to go possibly even Lurrus Bauble if they have a land. So maybe that wasn't the wildestly strong, strongest play in the world. But I've got 5 cards. I've got a Soul Ring, which does make Lurrus Bauble. So that's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying. And they just absolutely snap it off straight away, sort of thing. So that's cool. Good for us, good for us. Well, not really, actually. We're halfway through our deck with not much going on. We'll take a draw. And we'll send for 7 first. We're going to expect some chumps here. With 2 Bazaars, I might... How many amalgams did they just get? That's the issue, right? 1, 2 amalgams, 3 Icarids. I think I'm still good to go like this, so hitting a chill there is a bit annoying. I needed that in the deck, really. Doing 1 on amalgam, 1 on me. So that's 1 chill gone. I've still got 3 chills, is that right? Oh well. Narcomoeba, creeping chill, and a draw, and that brings back an amalgam. So that should be good at getting around a bauble. Opponent falls to 1. I have 2 lethal flyers, although not lethal because of Lurrus. But Lurrus kind of can't attack into... Lurrus can't really attack into double narc, right? And I get back an amalgam, opponent's at 1. I mean, they can attack into double narc because of Plough in hand. 5 mana. Looks like a Lurrus revealed to me. They just really need help. They need to find a tabernacle, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So we get through the looping Bauble Lurrus there. A timely wasteland. And the nice thing that Bowmaster is sometimes annoying, but largely close to ineffectual against Dredge sort of thing. So, cool. See you for round 3. Okay, round 3 we're up against CLTLegacyLeague, who I know I've played recently. What they played, I can't tell you. We're going to keep this, it's pretty cracked. Grief is going to give us a very good idea of what we're doing and what we're up against. It's just that age-old question of do I want to activate first? I guess I do. I guess it doesn't matter these days, right? If I'm not playing bridges, it doesn't matter what order I do this in. So I think I'll just go Bazaar and activate and then decide how I want to proceed from there. So I want to discard... Oh, I hate this. This is horrible. Yeah, no, now I regret it. Now I wish I'd griefed first off of my Thug. Okay, so what if we just go Imp, Thug, Amalgam, cast a Hollow One, have a Force of Negation up. They force back pitching Mana Drain. Holy hell, what are you doing over there? And then we can grief them next turn. We'll slow Dredge, we'll force something this turn, we'll slow Dredge, we'll grief them, and then we'll have fun. Well, maybe not. We'll slow Dredge as Thug, and then cast a Grief. So we saw a Mana Drain come out of them, they got nonsense. We'll take one of the One Rings. We'll play a Bazaar. We'll Force of Negation their Time Vault, and then we will kill them. Oh no, we won't. Okay, well we'll just kill them then, I guess. I'm just going to get rid of this. Think. Everything goes away. Go over the top of that to hit the amalgams. Stinkweed Imp. Thug, another chill. Opponent falls to 10 points of life, and then I guess they die on the crackback. So they're at 10. We've got an amalgam in play. We've got 2 amalgams in play, and we've got double liquid. Yeah, it's over. Cool. We'll eat a grief, and we'll attack for 47. Dredge a Stinkweed Imp. And that is game 1 against Mana Drain One Rings. Cool. Cool. Busted opener from us. Probably going to be a fan of Vigors and this sort of nonsense through here. I imagine against a One Ring deck I'm going to be a fan of Chalice of the Void. Maybe I'm meant to come off Griefs. Thug. Noxious, chill. No, I always, I take my chills out and I'm always just like, where are my chills? So I'm going to try this. I'm going to try dropping one of the Icarids, keeping the Chalice in the list. Maybe bad on the draw, actually, but we've got double hollow one with Force of Will. See you later, Powder. Opponent's on like 63 or something. Cool. And they pass, and they've got a Flood Strand. So that's cool. Leyline's fine at the moment. I'm going to discard these cards. Tabernacle's bad for us. And that's my whole analysis of this game. Tabernacle, not great for the home team. I will fight back, actually, I think. So if you're fighting back, you don't have a Tabernacle. So I think I'd rather give you less draws towards your Tabernacle. Do they have more permission? No. So over to the opponent here. 4 cards in hand. Fetch, I presume, gets Tundra. Voltaic Key. So we'd love to top deck another blue card, really. Just to really push this home. So Creeping Chill. We get to activate next turn onto Force of Will. We don't get to activate this turn, really. You could make some sort of maniacal play to try and find a lethal hollow one, but I don't think that sounds very good to me. I think that sounds like we're punting away too much of next turn's equity, if that makes sense. Like next turn's ability to find a blue card. So we just have to dodge this. If they go Mox land Time Vault, then congratulations, you know. Hollow one wasn't beating that either. So we found a blue card naturally, so we don't need to take any game actions to be really or do we want to... I guess we can activate, so we can activate onto a Wasteland to protect against Tabernacle. Oh, no, cool. Get rid of the other hollow ones. So I would have found a hollow one, is that right? If I'd activated last turn, they would have died this turn. So Time Walk. Yeah, I think that's good enough for us just to say no to. They've got a Force of Will back. I'm pitching a PO, and if we die, we die. They die. Perfect. Next round. So a rare Chestnut sighting, and it's Chestnut on Yorion, which probably means they're on an Oops All Spells list. It's not ready to commit to that as a thing, though. I will be powdering this hand. Oops is an annoying matchup for Dredge. And then we'll powder. We've got a Bazaar, we've got a Grief, but we are on the draw. Okay, I'm going to keep this. Do I have to put one back? No, I've just got 7. I powdered, cool. Right, sorry. We've got Noxious as interaction for Oops on turn 1. That might fly. That said, it can be anything, right? They could just be on some rando blue Yorion pile. But Jordan was playing Yorion Oops for a while, and Chess was very much in the Oops All Spells range and world for a while. So, but I guess we hope it's Death and Taxes from Legacy. Notice they've pitched a Balustrade to buy. Okay, so that's probably pretty poor for us. Looks like it could come down to the die roll. But we're going to have a look at their AT cards. It is, in fact, Oops All Spells. We've got 4 traps, a Mindbreak trap, and some Vigors to beat Oops with later. They've taken our Grief, not our Noxious. That's interesting. So they feel like they've got the Noxious covered. Oh, God. 3 mana card, exile target player's graveyard. They can just ritual out a fucking creature that ends the game. 3-1. That's not cool, man. That's not cool. Okay. 4 cards for the opponent. We've got a Bazaar of Baghdad. We've got a Force of Negation as well. That's probably up there as one of the better draws. I'm going to go Thug, Amalgam to the bin. Cast a Hollow One. Alright, Hollow One's made it through. So we've got the negation, we've got the revival for if they try to do that sort of combo. We've also got a fruity enough graveyard that they may wish to ritual out a Boggart Trawler. We've got Chrome Mox, which I'm not going to fight. I want them to commit spells so that my permission has a better chance of resolving, you know. Undercity Informer. Okay. We'll Dredge a Thug. I don't know why I didn't activate Upkeep, sorry. I was thinking about other things. Draw step, we've hit a chill, we'll go over the top of it. Stinkweedimp. Hits a bunch of stuff. Opponent is going to be dead on board, but we need to survive this next turn. So Why am I clicking all of these buttons? Yes, please. Yes, please. So they take 4. We get 4 amalgams into play. And then we've got Noxious on your Thassa's Oracle. Force of Negation your Pact of Negation. And that's game. Or at least that's the hope. That is the hope, at least. Alright, let's see it then. That was some insane dredging as well. Just hitting all 4 amalgams and a narc on the way through. And how many chills was that as well? 2 of my 3 remaining chills. You'd love to see it. I feel like if we get away from game 1 on the, like, if we win the game on the draw against Oops, I think we're in a good spot to take the match sort of thing. I think it's very die roll dependent. Post-board, we can find ourselves in some weird spots, so where they are the big aggressive deck and we need to be alive, right? And if we all exchange resources and then move back up to hand size and start discarding cards because both of our decks are crap, we're going to be the one who wins that game. Obviously, they can top deck stuff and refuel, but what I'm slowly getting to is that sometimes the Oops lists will the Dredge versus Oops matchup can be a match where we don't want to fuck around with Bazaar of Baghdad, and we want to just try and have an opener which has got lots of interactive spells in it. Opponent has activated Undercity Informer. The stack has got more Narcomoebas than me. We'll yield to all of these and then we'll see what they've got. How many Poxwalkers do they play in this list? A full 0 by the looks of things. Culling the Weak. That's cute. 0 Poxwalkers. They have got a Therapy. How many Thassa's Oracles? Just 1? Just 1. So they Therapy me, I Noxious your Thassa's Oracle, right? Let's just have a quick scan through. I can't see anything that's going to gain them a card from this position. Nope. And if they've got Force of Will, if they've got Pact of Negation behind here, we get to negate it. They've got the Pact of Negation, we get to negate it. Hopefully they don't have another one. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, they can't have another one, so they need something else. The Thoracle goes on top of the deck, and then they should be somewhat dead to combat, right? 1, 2, 3, dead on board. Yeah, perfect. They've got 1 card left in hand, no cards left in deck, although I have a Thoracle in deck. Bogot Trawler. Fell the Profane. So a lot of MH3 dual lands enabling an 80 card Oops all spells Yorion build. Opponent has conceded the game. Sweet. Okay. One thing to note is they can sideboard into Charbelcher. I think I'm going to bring a couple of shoals. I don't want to get randomly binked by a EXA jailer or something like that. Am I? Do I want to get binked by a jailer? Because I'm probably going to be struggling for space. Why can't I move stuff around? So 2 thugs. I love the Noxious. I like the misstep. I might come off the chills. I'm not sure. I need 3 cuts from this nonsense. Maybe it's keep. Maybe I cut Griefs. Add a Thug back in. Or don't have Vigors. But have Griefs. Have Vigors as well. What happens if I just become a 4 Hollow 1 beatdown deck and I just like cut all my Thugs in a Shambling Shell or something like that? That sounds horrific. On the draw, I'm going to come off the Griefs. Depending on what we see on the play, I might come off the Vigors. I do have to win the game at some point though, don't I? This hand doesn't really do anything. By that I mean it dies incredibly fast. So this will be a nice powder. But there will be like a, I don't know, like a triple interaction hand somewhere in the existence of Dredge openers that we will probably keep, sort of thing. So it's powder here. We'll mulligan like this, for example, is very interesting. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to bottom a Stinkweed Imp. And if opponents want a Charbelcher hand, opponents want a Charbelcher hand. This might be nonsense, right? But this is good to find out. One blue card gives us yet another piece of permission. No Chancellor. Oh, hang on, what's that revealed card? Yorion. Okay, yeah. No Chancellor from this one. Opponent just passes a turn, having mulligan to 5. So we're both on crap. Another blue card, though. And if we can top deck a Dredge next turn and start slow dredging them whilst maintaining, what's this, 4 or 5 pieces of interaction, that's quite cool, you know? And that's exactly what we did. Okay, so this has gone quite well, quite quickly. Shambling Shell, please. Perfect. So lots of the interactive cards and a slow dredge engine, but a slow dredge engine should just help us get there, I think. Hit a Stinkweed Imp. Discard a Shambling Shell. And we don't really have much in our graveyard to protect here, so if they do some graveyard hate stuff, then we probably chill, I guess. And if we find a we won't find a Bazaar if we do this for the whole game, but they've gone for Unmask. Pitching Balustrade Spy. I guess I will negate that. Why can't I click buttons? And that gets through. They've got a Mox Jet. Dark Ritual. Douthie Voidwalker. I probably have to fight that as well. That's kind of over the top of what we can ever beat. That's an interesting sideboard duke though, isn't it? And that makes me wish I had those cards that I was talking about earlier. Sickening Shoals. Back to us for another turn. We're going to dredge another Stinkweed Imp. We hit a Narcomoeba at last. But that is actually all of our threats, so that's cool. Another Narcomoeba and an Amalgam and an Icarid. So we turn that corner slowly. Probably a good enough board to not actually be too concerned about a Douthie Voidwalker in this spot, actually. because I'm just going to race it, right, if I just take draw steps. They grief us, we can't do anything about the grief. They pitched a Beseech the Mirror, they see triple Ravenous Trap. So now they need to have a Charbelcher kill to win. Which is definitely doable, right? That's part of the classic sideboarding plan from from Oops. Is to move on to that sort of thing. We get an Ichrid back into play. We get to dredge a Golgari Thug. We get another Narcomoeba. And we attack for 8. Opponent loses some life points and is dead on board. So we've got 2 Ichorids, so we're going to attack for 12 next turn. A Shadow Blocker won't help them. A Bogot Trawler would. And they've got a Mana Crypt. Into Undercity Informer. Into Mox Emerald. Can they beat... Can they beat double thing? Double Ichorid? Double Trap? I don't have any dredges left, but I'm only going to be off of it 1 turn. They can try and mill me, but I've got 2 Bazaars left in my deck. No, they don't try and mill me, they just took it. Now there are make-believe hands that they can have, right? Charbelcher LED, Charbelcher Lotus. Oh no, they lost the Crypt Flip, we win. Cool. That was fun. Okay, 5th and final round. We've won the die roll against Dog_Coco. Who I don't know. So that's fun. 2 Bazaars and a bunch of permission. The dream. A Lurrus has been revealed. Hello, Lurrus. That's a nice change though, isn't it, to see a companion in Vintage. I'm going to keep this hand. Activate Bazaar, discard the 2 cards we draw plus the Shambling Shell. That will change if we draw different blue cards. But I think double permission. Hollow One will make me think, and Hollow One would annoy me. Chalice is also annoying, isn't it? Chalice is also annoying. But what if I just come off the second negation to roll out a Chalice? Maybe Chalice isn't good enough, actually. Maybe this is nonsense, but this just slows them down so fucking hard. I guess this is one of those things, right? I play Chalice. If they fight the Chalice, I fight back. If they don't fight the Chalice, then I wish I had Amalgam in hand. I mean, Chalice in graveyard. But Chalice has that power to just end games here. This gives me a nice activation next turn where I can come off of a card. So that's cool. Because I don't need to keep 3 blue cards in hand now, I can just keep 2. Island. Go. So we're going to force of all their ancestral upkeep, and then I guess I just slow dredge here to make sure I get into the deck, and then I can play my Bazaar and activate and do stuff. Yes, I like all of that. So we'll activate, we'll discard. Yeah, Shell, Grief, Negation, and then we'll activate a Bazaar of Baghdad, dredging Shambling Shell, and hoping for a Narcomoeba. Missing a lot. I'm just going to discard the Hollow One. I don't want to mess around. I want to have just that little bit of permission. I do wish we'd hit another Dredger. Opponent has a tap land. I think we just have to say fuck it now on the Force of Will, and just be like, I've got 2 Bazaars. Let's just, you know, let's go to work and see how we do. Let's go Shambling Shell. Miss again. Hit an Icarid, hit an Narcomoeba. Do I want a 3rd Bazaar? Do I want a Grief? Is there anything worth putting into my on top of my library? Not really, actually. So let's come off of those cards. Let's go over the top of the Narcomoeba with the next activation. Shambling Shell. This finally finds a Stinkweed Imp. It's another Narc and a Creeping Chill. So now everything's in play all of the time. We're going to dredge Amalgam as well. Not an Amalgam, a Stinkweed Imp. Looking for that 4th Amalgam. And I've just got the 1 Icarid, so any future Icarids would be kind of more than welcome to arrive as well. Like, yeah, we hung around on the permission for a while, but I think the Chalice has actually done quite a big job. Because this is not a keepable hand that they've demonstrated here, is it? Land into tap land. And then I get a Stinkweed Imp back into my hand. And we did hit 1 more Icarid, so that's pretty cool. Opponent's on 14 and dead on board. So, lots of work for them to do. I haven't really counted anything. I imagine a Bowman would keep them alive for a moment, but actually I've got 2 chills left in my deck, so I assume I can just empty my deck next turn with 2 Bazaars. Yeah. Going Bowman now. Okay, interesting. Interesting stuff. We get back. Well, let's just do some dredging and see what happens to the numbers in the corner of the screen. Golgari Grave Troll. Golgari Thug. Discard everything. Takes us to 15. Golgari Grave Troll Stinkweed Imp. Takes us to 4. There's some more chills. Is chill ever the bottom card of my deck here? Now I kind of need to count, actually, don't I? We'll eat a Grief. We'll eat a Grief. How many more turns of this game do I want? So you block Amalgam, you block Amalgam. You take 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3 Creeping Chills there. No Creeping Chills in my graveyard. 4 plus 6 is 10. So if I just dredge a Thug here, I'm guaranteed to hit my 4th chill. And my opponent's guaranteed to be dead. So dredge 4, I guess. And we attack them, and they cannot do enough of the blocking to stay alive. Cool. Next round, same as the previous Lurrus matchups. We like this, we like this, and we like this. And we can drop all of the blue stuff in the Chalice of the Void. Cool. Cool. Okay, game 2 on the draw. We've got a Grief. We've got a Bazaar. Not the most inspiring opener that we've got here, but what are you going to do? They've got a Deathrite Shaman. Well. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest with you. That was not on my list of things that I was expecting. I did bring in those shoals, though. It didn't look like a Deathrite list earlier, but, you know. Another thing is more than welcome. I'm going to pitch this Icarid and get the grief through. Starting on grief, following up with Hollow One. Brainstorm, Psychic Frog, Spell Pierce. Let's take Psychic Frog then. I know they've got a Tabernacle there, but we can try and push the issue on Tabernacle with this Hollow One. And they've got a Wasteland as well for our Bazaar of Baghdad. So they've gone straight in for the Tabernacle there. Which means we're going to get it to untap and look for a Wasteland on their Underground to see. Although actually then they can keep the Deathrite alive for a while. Which I don't love. Hollow One's down. See you later, mate. One issue we have got is this Deathrite Shaman at some point will be able to eat our Icarids. And we don't have many things left for that. So let's activate, see if we can find a Wasteland or something. We can't. I'm going to go Narc, Vigor, Narc. I'm going to hold the Creeping Chill in hand. I'm going to hold the Bazaar of Baghdad in hand. Because I want to draw a Sickening Shoal for this Deathrite Shaman. They're going to Brainstorm end step, I imagine. Oh no, they're going to eat something out of my graveyard. They're going to eat Force of Vigor. Okay. But now they've got to pay for their Deathrite. And then they'll Wasteland us. And then they'll do something else. Probably... One thing with Wasteland though is because it eats my Bazaar to pay for the Spell Pierce. Doesn't it? Which is quite annoying. There's the Wasteland. They Wasteland me. Oh, they attack with Deathrite Shaman. That's pretty gnarly. I don't actually want to draw a Bazaar of Baghdad though, that's the issue. So we do find a Dredger here. We find two of them. We've got two Noxious to fight Deathrite with. And we can try and go over the top of Spell Pierce with multiple Noxious activations as well. Wastelands again. Attacks with Deathrite Shaman. Okay. No blocks. These Deathrite Shaman attacks are kind of wild to me. I just get my Bazaar back now. And I just play it, I guess. And I guess I don't do anything else. They have to pay for the Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale. They didn't play their Brainstorm earlier, did they? They've got a Mox Jet. So then... Second main phase, I'm going to Noxious my Bazaar and hold priority and activate my other one over the top of that. This will probably get Spell Pierced or just eaten by the Deathrite Shaman. But this way we can Dredge 10 or 11 and then have a Bazaar on top of our deck. And opponents struggle to find green mana this game, which is pretty good for us. And I do know about the Spell Pierce, but I'm not too worried about knowing about the Spell Pierce. I'm just going to let all of this go and see what they want to eat. I guess, are they scared of creeping? Not creeping chill. Yeah, creeping chill or something. So, or do they have a green source or something? They can't have a green source. They're casting Force of Will from hand by the looks of things. They've just paid a life. Yeah, Force of Will pitching Spell Pierce, which is interesting take because they can just activate the Deathrite Shaman there. So Grave Troll and Stinkweed Imp. Where are my creeping chills? Pick up a Grave Troll. There's one of them. And they need to find green mana soon because I've just started finding Icarids here. I'm going to make my graveyard a bit more legible. Sorry, I hope it's not been like that the whole video because that's quite an annoying graveyard. I've found 3 Icarids here. They can eat this chill if they want to. And they will. Makes sense. Saves them some life. We pass back and we pray for no green source, basically. I think that's most of the game now, is please don't have a green source, please don't have a green source sort of thing. So this is gone, this is gone. They found a green source. I'm going to say okay to Icarid, just let that happen. They'll have to eat one of them. I can't fight that. There's no way of me getting around it. Strip Mine Wastelander in the yard. 1, 2, 3 Noxious are in the yard as well. So this might actually be impossible to kind of grind through, I don't know. Through that Tabernacle. I've only got these 3 Icarids, that's all of them. Yeah, that was an annoying draw, that Mox Emerald. So that Icarid's gone. They're at 21. Grief can go. These amalgams are going to go back and forth, back and forth. I kind of wish I'd had dredged a black creature last turn. How many Sickening Shoals have we been through? 1, 2, 3. I'm going to dredge again here. I'm going to dredge Stinkweed Imp. Oh no, Thug. I can't count. Let's just do a Stinkweed Imp to start. And then Stinkweed Imp would put me down to 6 cards in deck. But I think I want to just go Shell, because that put me down to 8 cards in deck. And I can dredge another Shell. Yes, I'd like to chill you. I just don't think I can actually physically deal enough damage here. Dredge a Shell. Hit a chill. Yes, please. Attack with all the creatures. Sickening Shoal count 1, 2, 3. I've still got 1 in my deck, which is why we're where we are. Noxious Revivals have gone, so Tabernacle's just in play. This may not be a winnable game of Magic the Gathering, actually. Chill. Yeah. Chill. Okay, so all my chills are done and they're just going to gain life and I'm going to die. Gross. I think I'm boarded in an appropriate way, though. I might bring in Force of Wills over Force of Vigors. Like, if we just fade that Mox Emerald for a turn, then we're in a much better spot. Tropical Island. We're going to resolve the amalgams first. Oh, amalgam comes back. Amalgam immediately goes away again. Okay. So we're going to resolve these amalgams first. So then we can eat the amalgams with the remaining Icarid. And then we need to find that card, Sickening Shoal, off of the top with this 1 draw step. Opponent has got 2 cards. We saw them pitch a Spell Pierce earlier. And basically, if we don't find a Sickening Shoal here, and if it doesn't resolve, then... So yeah, so what we need is we need to find Sickening Shoal. We then need to resolve Sickening Shoal. And then we need this one Ichorid here to go coast to coast. Which is asking a lot, right? It's a hollow one. So that doesn't do it. So we die. Cool. We run out of gas, and then we'll go to the next one. I think I might bring in Force of Wills over Force of Vigors. And do I want to cut something along the way through? Maybe not. Maybe one Thug. For like a negation. I don't think negation does anything. I think I'm just going to roll with this. I don't think they have artifacts that are relevant enough to fight over, basically. So hopefully we can just roll them over though for game 3. Okay, game 3 against what seemed like a great matchup game 1, but when your opponent reveals that they're bug Lurrus, you kind of... I feel a bit sick. Let's mulligan. So I've got the Bazaars covered. I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to bottom a Bazaar. Opponent's on 61, it's got to be good for us. So Bazaar, activate, discard the cards that want to be discarded, and then say a prayer that their deck's crap. I guess we're coming off the revival here then. To keep the Force of Will alive. Opponent mulligan to 6 to keep whatever they've got. Which is, I guess, hopefully just Wasteland Go. Yeah. Wasteland, my Bazaar. Then we can just Dredge Thug. And then if we hit a Narcomoeba, which we do not, then I was going to say we can play Wasteland, but I'm just going to play Bazaar of Baghdad now. And I'm going to pass the turn. So I've got the Grave Troll there. And I'd rather them commit a Wasteland, I think, than a Tabernacle. Like, basically, I don't want to tell them that they need the Tabernacle right now. I can't gain anything from this activation because I'll be dredging, not drawing into hollow ones. I don't want to discard anything other than Golgari Thug, Golgari Grave Troll, and a Stinkweed Imp sort of thing. So that's a Scalding Tarn. So we're basically trying to stay on top of Force of Will until they play something like a Voidwalker or that other card, Deathrite Shaman. They're fetching straight away. Underground Sea. Grafdigger's Cage. So we'll fight Grafdigger's Cage with the Narcomoeba. That gets through. Second main phase, we'll go for the big activation on here. Because if we hit a Narc on the way through this, then our Prize Amalgam comes into play now. We do hit the Narc. And now we get to untap, slow Dredge into playing Wasteland to insulate against Tabernacle at Pendule Vale. Amalgam and Narcomoeba are going to get in for 4. Good on them. I've got 2 Ichorids as well. And 2 Griefs. This is going to be a hell of a lot of damage. And then we might just be able to find Stinkweed Imp, not Stinkweed Imp, Creeping Chills to kill actually. Didn't realise we dredged the absolute world on the way through there. So let's pick up the Grave Troll. There's a chill. This is looking good for the home team. 10, and I've got 10 on board. Seems legit. Seems legit. Opponent dies. Cool. Exactly 0. Good games, us. We win some games. Opponents lose some games. I do like this Dredge list, and I said at the beginning actually that I feel like it makes us worse against Lurrus, but it wasn't actually so bad, was it? It was kind of fine. I still think I prefer the ghoul list into the general metagame. Because then that turn, like at the end there, right, where I'm trying to find exactly an Archimedes to get exactly an Amalgam, I can be in spots where I'm like, if I find a Ghoul and a Chill as well, I also get threats into play. So it's a bit more resilient, there's more threats, it's a bit more aggressive. Because it's very easy for me to, mill 2 Serum Powders, a Grief and a Hollow one, and then my opponent wastelands us and we just die sort of thing. So, cool matches, cool games. The other thing is I did have a couple of poor starts to leagues earlier on this week where I was just like going 0-3 against Lurrus decks with this list. So I don't know, maybe we ran hot during this league. I don't know. That was cool though. Thanks for watching. See you again. And yeah.